where does the forest come from? From the substrate created over millions of years by living beings, plants and animals that populated the earth. This is the origin of the forest. We developed our project looking at death as an inevitable phenomenon in the biological pathway of all living beings. The concept of death and rebirth through the union with the earth was clear.
Let's now shift our attention to what is being called a unique discovery in Russia. The first ever preserved grown-up cave bear has been unearthed.
This discovery is the only one of its kind in the world, a complete carcass of a fossilized brown bear.
A gold miner in Canada discovered a mummified baby woolly mammoth. The miner found the baby, which still had its skin and hair, while excavating through the permafrost at Eureka Creek in the Klondike gold fields.
Aside from dirt, mud, and soil, the ground holds far more secrets that we can't fathom to exist until it's discovered. Stay tuned in for some of the weirdest and most mind-boggling discoveries made in the ground that no one saw. An ancient mummy was wrapped up and frozen in time in a downright eyebrow-raising pose. Lima, Peru spilled the beans on a centuries-old secret. Archaeologists were digging around when they struck mummy gold.
Inside, we found a mummy from pre-Inca times, such as pots, ceramics, gourds containing botanical remains.
But here's the kicker. This mummy had its hand on its mouth like it had just binge-watched a horror movie. What's the story? Did it endure ancient suffering, or was it a dramatic sacrifice? The gender of our mummy friend remained a secret agent, so they threw it into the carbon dating spa for a thorough analysis. Lima's ancient surprise party just got a whole lot more puzzling. Soldier remains. Ever wondered what happened to the soldiers of World War I? Where did they get lost? Here is one. In the region of Ardenne-Champagne in northeast France, archaeologists unearthed the tunnel and trenches that were filled in by farmers after the war. On their dig, they discovered a skeleton of an unidentified German soldier. This carcass dates back to 100 years and is now residing in the archaeological warehouse. After the deep research, which revealed further details that the soldier was between 20 to 25 years of age when he passed away, and it was his uniform that gave off his German identity. Prehistoric whale. No, that's not another dinosaur, but something even more mysterious. It's a 5,000-year-old whale skeleton that was unearthed in Thailand in a perfectly preserved condition. The paleontologist had found 36 backbone pieces that stretched from the tail section to the neck.
แล้วก็ซี่โครงเราพบ 25 ชิ้น แล้วก็กะโหลก
Along with that, they had also found the left shoulder, the whale's fin, 25 ribcage pieces, and the skull. Such a whale skull is believed to be found. The only one is Asia.
ซากวานนี้ค่ะก็คาดว่าน่าจะเป็นหนึ่งของเอเชีย
That too in a good condition. I mean, to find 90% of the whale is quite something. This area was a part of the sea back in the days. But now, the sea has gone, leaving traces in the form of ancient whale species behind. Buried doll head. If you have seen enough horror movies, you know this is how all the nightmare begins in the first place. While on a treasure trove, this explorer was led by a metal detector into digging next to a tree, where moments later he unearthed a doll head. Was the doll for black magic? Annabelle's brother? Or was there a more mysterious story behind it? Before any other speculation surfaced, he opened it up from the bottom and revealed the oh-so-valuable reason for the detector beeps. Drumroll, please! The explorer had hit the jackpot. The doll's noggin was a clandestine vault, concealing a treasure trove of gold coins. Preserved TRex remains. Who said Jurassic Park was only limited to movies and fiction? Okay, even if it does, that doesn't mean the creature of Jurassic period vanished after it ended. Thousands of dinosaur remains have been discovered over the period of the last few decades, with all belonging to different species, but none of them was found in a forest, or, well, in this state. This guy's adventure into the wild went even wilder when he stumbled upon the strange carcass. But his mind was blown away when he realized it was not just any animal, but one from millions of years ago. It was a T-Rex carcass. However, people on the internet seem to think it was fake. But we leave it to you to decide that. Woolly mammoth. A gold miner in Yukon, Canada hit the jackpot when he discovered something remarkable. No, not the treasure chest, but something more valuable. A baby mammoth carcass. The baby was a mummified carcass about 30,000 years old. It had its skin and hair intact, even after being buried for all those years. When the miner was excavating through the permafrost in the Eureka Creek, the mammoth was found frozen there and believed to have been there since the Ice Age. It looked like this little mammoth had stayed in the company of steppe bison, wild horses, and cave lions. Permafrost Bear. In the icy heart of eastern Siberia, a jaw-dropping discovery awaited the world. Reindeer herders stumbled upon a nearly perfectly preserved brown bear, frozen in time for 3,500 years. In 2020, on a desolate Arctic island, the carcass surfaced, truly a fossilized marvel that left scientists astounded. This wasn't just any bear, it was a unique find, the only complete carcass of its kind globally. As it had its skin intact, it was not just all bones. A team of dedicated scientists embarked on a necropsy, unraveling the secrets held within. The absolute age, a staggering 3,460 years, presented a rare opportunity to explore soft tissues, study internal organs, and delve into the ancient bear's brain. Snake skeleton. You may expect to find ancient skeletons inside the underground caves, and when the visitors do, they find it quite fascinating.
Okay, this is really very beautiful.
However, this one snake skeleton left the explorers in complete awe, as this was no ordinary snake, but a giant snake. You do know about the legendary Titanoba, right? The 50 feet long snake. The people believed it to be evidence of the enormous snakes and forgotten race of giants' fabled battle. However, it's even eerie to think of the already powerful and the most feared creature in a humongous size. But there have been no scientific discoveries or legends that could prove the existence of giant snakes. But you never know what secrets are lying in the depths of ancient caves. 52-year-old carcass. It was the ultimate stylish departure. After 52 years, 6 feet under the ground, this Dapper Gent was exhumed. Brace yourself for the moment when the coffin cracked open. Gasps echoed.
You know, it was really tense for me because there was some doubt that he might not even be in the casket.
Instead of a mere mortal, it beheld a golden spectacle. He sported shades that had morphed from ordinary specs into afterlife chic. Imagine the allure. Golden glamour, sunglasses intact. Despite the fascinating transformation, a scent symphony wafted from the coffin.
I believe everybody else there was totally shocked when they saw him.
Even in the afterlife, style sometimes comes with a whiff of mystery. Fashion forward, even in the beyond, he left an unforgettable impression, shades and all. Petrona Man Skull. An ancient skull was unearthed by the archaeologists that defied beliefs. Dating 700,000 years back, this Petrona Man Skull was discovered from the Greek cave. Human evolution history, political and scientific beliefs were put to question upon this mind-boggling discovery, as this Petrona Man Skull is nothing like the classic European or Neanderthal men of the Upper Pleistocene group. The history of man that had emerged from Africa shrouded in doubts, with everyone questioning the actual origin. And well, it seems quite enthralling what other mysteries and secrets the world is hiding. Maya Sinkhole skeleton remains. A group of explorers went inside the Maya Sinkhole, but what they found there was totally unexpected and left their mouths agape.
struck researchers from the 1930s on as being incredibly unusual that it seems intentionally excluded. There's no other cenote at the site like that.
All equipped and tied, they went inside and were thrilled to find a long tunnel, which opened to a second cavern. It was all fascinating for them until this far, but they didn't know what was coming next, as they were astonished by the secret an ancient sinkhole was beholding. Something made them stop in their tracks. It was a half-human skeleton at first, but when they moved ahead, there were other multiple human remains as well. Everything was whispering the presence of ancient civilizations that had been lost long ago. Anomaly on Mars. While going through the images of Mars, the senior researcher George Haas came across something really confusing. It was like a bulging figure in the ground, almost like the keyhole. Nobody was sure if it was nature-made or something that humans or extraterrestrials had a hand in.
Determining if this is possibly just something nature-made or something that humans or extraterrestrials had a hand in.
Researchers, astrophysicists, and other experts came up with their different theories, and some of them even suggested that it could be the proof that there is indeed life on Mars.
The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter took amazing detailed maps of pretty much the whole surface of Mars.
But what created more confusion was the fact that there was a similar monument in Osaka, Japan as well, and that leaves the mystery of the project on Mars lurking. What do you think of it, internet wizards? Human skeleton. An ancient cave that was flooded 8,000 years ago revealed the secrets that no one was expecting. The archaeologists Octavio Del Rio and Peter Broger uncovered the shattered skull and skeleton.
Inferimos, ¿no? Justamente por la posición, por la ubicación en donde está, por la profundidad.
Partially covered by sediment. This cave system had flooded at the end of the Ice Age, and after centuries, decided to give people a peek into the rare site of the Homosapien remains dating back to that time. As the cave system was too deep down the waters for anyone to get there without advanced equipment, it looked like it was a home to humans back in the day. Unicorn skull. Let's move to an even more interesting discovery that proved that fictional characters are not, after all, just fiction. These explorers were on an adventurous journey when they spotted something weird in the ground. It was a skull that was quite prominent, but it looked somewhat different. Thinking of it as belonging to a horse or a donkey, they started to dig in the ground to unearth the skull. But as it started to come out, they realized it was not something ordinary, but a skull with a straight vertical horn at the top. At this point, you must have realized what that indicates. It was the only found proof that the unicorns have existed. Or do they still exist? I mean, what else did this skull point out? Forbidden treasure. Ooh! Wow! Ooh! This man found something truly extraordinary inside an underground cave system. He was venturing down this abandoned cave when he saw a shadow of a snake, full in defensive mode. It made him quite terrified at the sight at first. But what was it protecting? His babies? Curiosity led this man to follow the snake, and with some digging here and there, he found the reason. Snake was indeed guarding something, but definitely not babies. It was an ancient gold statue. The man picked it up with great amazement. The incident was surreal, to kind of a fictional movie or something, where the snakes stand guard over the ancient treasure. Ice Age Bison. In 1979, daring researchers stumbled upon an Ice Age steppe bison in Alaska, its mummified body hiding a tasty secret. Little did they know, this wasn't just any bison. It had strolled the earth a whopping 55,000 years ago. Claw scratches and bite marks etched in its ancient hide revealed it had faced off with an American lion. Preserved in permafrost, this bison eluded the munchies of smaller creatures. Lost for centuries, the researchers unleashed its icy hold with a hydraulic mine hose, revealing undamaged muscles, skin, and bones. And guess what? It became the star dish at an unforgettable dinner party for 8 guests. Talk about a prehistoric culinary adventure. Mammoth Tusk. While excavating for the mine, Tony Beets didn't know how interesting his job was going to get. As he was digging deep into the soil, something strange caught his attention. It was something vertical, like a tusk standing vertically in the soil.
Whoa. I believe I found a Mammoth Tusk.
He stopped for a moment until he realized what it was.
Ooh. Whoa, that certainly is.
It was not an ordinary-sized tusk to that of an elephant, but much bigger, most likely of the ancient mammoths.
It's very rare that I find a tusk like this sticking out of the bank.
He was so thrilled with his discovery that he called his family to have a look.
Okay, can you guys come up here? I just found a mastodon tusk sticking out of the bank.
He stopped his mining midway and called for the paleontologists. They took the tusk out and declared that this belonged to a male and escorted it to where it belonged. Underground fire. A firefighter was on a weekend fire mop-up around the Detroit district when he came across something really concerning. At first, it was just the land emitting smoke due to the fire that he had put out until the high temperature made him investigate the reason. Upon exploring the area, he discovered that it was a whole pit of fire under the mount in the forest, which was more serious than initially thought.
Or more specifically, their roots. Some of them are still on fire.
He took to social media to warn the locals about the rising problem of underground fires. But the fire had already caused enough destruction before anyone could make precautionary measures. Eternal flame. Here comes another fiery mystery. In southwest China, there is a place which stays on fire all year round. Winters can't cool that fire, and water, well, the flames come back in 3 minutes. For over 60 years, wildfires have been burning on a tiny 4 square meter spot of ground. Rumor has it that this was due to a hole that was dug by an oil team back in '58 for natural gas, but they didn't stick around to check it out. Turns out there's not much gas around there. So it's been this ongoing hot show ever since, all because of a shortage of gas keeping the flames alive. Iron Age Arrow. In the rugged mystery of Norway, researchers unearthed an ancient arrow tucked amid the rocks like a frozen secret. This wasn't your ordinary arrow, but it had journeyed downhill encased in ice.
So the next task for this is to actually turn it into an arrow.
And was only released when the frozen grip loosened. It was well preserved, yet marked by the Battle of Ages. It bore the scars of sinew and tar, binding its components. But here's the kicker. This arrow wasn't a lone ranger. In this Norwegian county, a treasure trove of 200 arrows, all dating back 6,000 years, revealed a hunting hotspot frozen in time. A missed shot for hunters, a bullseye for archaeologists, uncovering the whispers of an ancient chase. Megalodon II. What are the odds of being this lucky? This guy was on the hunt in the river to find some ancient artifacts or something, but what he found instead was truly a remarkable discovery. On his very first dig in the sand, his luck played the game as a Megalodon tooth came out of there. Thrilled, he couldn't suppress his excitement.
Dude! Whoa! Whoa!
However, people on the internet claimed that it was impossible to find thousands of year-old Megalodon teeth in just one dig.
Well, it's certainly not rare to find a shark tooth off the Venice coast. They're pretty much known for it.
Whereas some claimed he may have forgotten to record when he actually found the tooth and just reenacted it for the internet. Or was it just pure luck? Undertree Python. Python Island was named so for literal reasons. This explorer decided to visit one of the most dangerous islands at the creepiest of times, in the middle of the night. With the scars of brutal bugs, alligators, and the most dangerous of the snakes lurking, this man went inside the woods looking for something remarkable. And the dog was maybe to sniff the traces of Python. Who knows? After roaming around the whole island for hours, he came across a very secretive snake hideout.
She has a shit ton of eggs too. Holy shit, Allie.
What he saw next took his breath away. It was something he had never seen before. A huge nest of the python, with not 1 or 2 dozens, but a total of 45 eggs, with the mother snake guarding them. He wanted something remarkable, but this was truly extraordinary. Buried Temple. In a sandy twist of fate, about 3 years ago, sand miners in Nellore, India, stumbled upon more than just sand during their routine mining gig. What seemed like an ordinary mound from a distance turned out to be a buried treasure, a temple. Only the temple's tower was peeking through the sand dunes, playing hide and seek with time. The excitement led to a sand-moving extravaganza, with colossal excavators revealing the temple's brick walls after hours of digging. It was a jaw-dropping sight, an ancient structure made entirely of bricks and lime mortar. This time capsule, buried for centuries, suddenly emerged, claiming a divine connection that added an extra layer of mystique to its already spellbinding tale. Ritual Circle. Let's move to the mystery of Burn-Knuckle Cave that has fascinated scientists for years. Inside this underground cave was found a strange ring of stalagmites that was arranged in a perfect circle. Each stalagmite stayed upright and was evenly spaced. What made this even more of a head-scratcher was the fact that this ring was arranged by the prehistoric civilization that inhabited the Earth about 175 years ago. And this raises even more questions as to what was the purpose behind this circle. However, some experts seem to believe that the stalagmite ring held a ritual significance, where others believe that this was some kind of astronomical lunar calendar. All in all, the true intention of this circle stayed a mystery. Ice Cave. This is one of the largest ice caves of ice resin welt, and is truly a breathtaking wonder. This cave is located in the Austrian Alps and was discovered in 1879. This underground cave system had been an attraction because of the beautiful ice formations and spectacular beauty. However, the conspiracy theories regarding the cave made it a mystery. According to some, the cave is haunted, and they have some pretty disturbing stories to tell. However, others believe the cave is a domain of the race of giants who guard the entrance to the underworld. One thing is for sure, the creepy atmosphere of the cave and ghostly presence had also been felt by the visitors. Oldest Homosapien. What is even more thrilling is the fact that Petrona Man is not a Homosapien. Archaeologists made another remarkable discovery when they found the remains of a boy that dated back to 2 million years ago. The skull and the other body parts were nothing like the ones that were already found. It was Australopithecus africanus that was supposed to be the earliest forebear to modern humans. Wisdom, science, evolution, it defied all the beliefs that had been descending down through generations. At this point, I wonder what other incredible secrets the Earth has been hiding. Armadillo digging hole. It creeped this man out when he saw this hole in his backyard being dug out, as the source was nowhere to be seen. It looked strange, as it was like someone was throwing dirt out. Curiosity led him to investigate what was inside that hole. And there it was. He could see a horn like something moving in the sand. But when he saw the scales, recognition started to kick in. And before the suspect could come out, he knew it was an armadillo ruining his backyard.
Hey, little armadillo.
Now you know, if you need to dig a hole cost-free, armadillos are the best for that. Dinosaur mummy. In 2011, while excavating Suncor's Millennium Mine in Alberta, Canada, Sean Funk encountered a mysterious obstacle about 200 feet underground. The soft soil had facilitated digging until a sudden hardness prompted investigation. Upon closer inspection, Funk noticed larger round holes, sparking suspicions of fossils, given the area's history of dinosaur discoveries. After extensive hours, a fossil emerged bound for the Tyrrell Museum. Tragically, it collapsed, requiring 5 years and 7,000 man-hours for paleontologists to meticulously free the dinosaur fossil from the rock. The astonishing revelation emerged. It was not a plesiosaurus, but a dinosaur. It was hidden for 80 million years, marking a groundbreaking discovery. It was the first ever dinosaur fossil that was found with intact skin. Dinosaur Remains. Southwest China came up with the discovery of 2 sets of dinosaur fossils that dated back to the Jurassic period 180 million years ago. One of them was identified as Lufinigosaurus magnus by the paleontologists. The fossil was total 9 meter long with its multiple vertebrae and complete hind legs present. It was said to be 70% complete.
The fossil we've retrieved is about 70% complete. It was buried in a stratum that dates back to the early Jurassic period.
500 meters away from this fossil, another dinosaur fossil that was believed to be Lufinigosaurus hanai was discovered. Most of its body parts were also present as they were very well preserved.
We found some fossil pieces during our road maintenance work. We've changed the course of the road to protect the site.
Both of these dinosaurs were discovered in the Yunnan province of China that had left the archaeologists thrilled. Snake's secret habitat. These guys were on a snake catching mission when they got a glimpse of some moving creature from one of the holes in the ground. With that, they got on the mission to find out what it was. Well, they started digging in to widen the hole little by little, keeping a safe distance to not get themselves in trouble. And what was it made them step back? It was a huge python inside the ground trying to stay warm inside the ground. And well, they dug down to its home. I mean, what a way to ruin the snake's hibernation. It looked like the snake was not in the mood for a fight as it slithered out of the hole, maybe to dig another. Barging snake burrow. Here is another group that felt the need to intrude the snake's privacy. This guy spotted a bunch of black mambas going inside an underground hole and decided to, well, barge in their territory. Ooh. Wow. But he didn't know about the surprise that was waiting for him. He called for some help and got on the mission. With every attempt to pull the bunch, more and more snakes were coming out. It was then he realized it was not the easy task and started to pull the snakes out with his gloved hand. They were slithering around, all trying to get released from the hold. Not 10 or 20, but his bag got filled with 100 snakes. Mammoth tooth. This third grader boy went extraordinarily lucky when his fun time went way more fun and he made it to the news. In the forest near his grandma's home, he came back with a weird-looking piece of wood. His family also thought it would be a piece of petrified wood, but after looking at it for long, they realized it was something more than just that, and did what looked relevant to them at the time. They called the archaeologists. After analyzing, they declared it was a tens of thousand-year-old mammoth tooth. The little Oregon boy had unintentionally made a huge discovery. Statue found underground. It was just another regular day of a construction worker until he suddenly happened to make an extraordinary find. The ground revealed a secret that left everyone not only shocked, but also buzzing with excitement all around the town. Everyone played detective to unearth the mystery object. Lo and behold, it wasn't just any relic. It was a bronze statue of Shiva, a Hindu god, straight out of the imperial Chola dynasty from a millennium ago. Talk about a time-traveling artifact. The find left everyone pondering, how on earth did Shiva end up buried in the backyard? For the locals, it wasn't just a discovery, it was a religious revelation, adding a touch of divine drama to their lives. Strange carcass. Get ready for a deep-sea scoop. ROV footage caught a jaw-dropping moment. It was the skeleton of a mega-sized mystery creature. But here's the plot twist. When they tried to grab it, poof! It turned into dust like a cloud, like it was decades old. Cue the expert brain power. They huddled up, scratched their heads, and decided, yep, this is totally a new species. Its appearance resembled that of a serpent, with a huge vertebra and remains of a skull. Now, what's your take on this underwater enigma? Dive into the mystery and tell us your wildest theories. Snake from ground. This man was brave enough to provoke the snake out of its hideout. But don't blame him, he was just helping an old lady. In this backyard drama, the homeowner faced a dilemma as she spotted a snake there. Fearful, she summoned a snake catcher to the scene. Upon arrival, he spotted a lifeless bird that meant the snake had made its victim. The elusive serpent had vanished, leaving only a mysterious hole. The catcher, playing the waiting game, strategically left a water pipe open, coaxing the snake into the open. Patience paid off as the serpent emerged. Swiftly, the man safely relocated the danger, ensuring it posed no threat. Cobra in tree hole. In the throes of a venomous threat, snake catchers embarked on a mission to an area plagued by snake bites. Reports led them to a suspicious tree hole. As they dug down, rustling leaves across from them caught their attention. Driven by curiosity, they investigated and attempted to secure the elusive snake. Despite their efforts, the creature remained out of touch. Faced with limited options, they decided to break down the stump. A startling sight awaited them. A snake concealed in the sand, its texture sending them stumbling backward. Efficiently, they extracted the breathing serpent, only to discover another coiled nearby. A protracted struggle ensued before the determined catchers successfully secured the second snake, bringing a tense episode in the ongoing snake saga to a close. Gold stones. This guy was exploring the mountains for treasure, and well, what can I say? It was his day that his efforts paid off.
Oh my god. Diamond.
He was brushing off the stones when his eyes got a glimpse of something sparkly. His sixth sense signaled him to dig deep, so he did. And it turned out to be nothing ordinary but a big gold stone.
Oh, deeper. Wow.
He was thrilled at the discovery. Expecting more around the area, his search got heated as he started looking for more stones.
It's a tiny gold. Wow.
Not big ones, but he did end up finding smaller ones in a considerable amount. However, when the video surfaced on the internet, people called it fake, and we would like to know what you think of it. The days of coffins won't stay for long anymore, as the new and more environmentally friendly way of burial are coming into action. A corporation called Capsola Mundi has introduced this ecological way to bury the deceased. Through this way, when a person passes away, their bodies will be kept in specially made egg-shaped pods, which act like a seed. After that, the pod will be buried in the ground and covered by a tree. The capsule is entirely biodegradable due to its starch plastic composition, which decomposes naturally in the earth. Additionally, the body inside will begin to decompose and change into nutrients that the tree roots just above may receive. And the human body will be a great benefit to the ecosystem. I mean, it's only fair after all the harm they cause to nature. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.